Hello everyone, and welcome to another creative clip from my collection. It's an unusual one today. I thought I'd talk about painting on a canvas paper. So this is just like working on a canvas, but it's actually paper. It's 100% cotton and it's primed, ready to take whatever medium you want to use on it. Tells you here, ready for oils, inks, mixed media, gouache and watercolours. This is a Frisk version. There's lots of different manufacturers do it and they're all available online, and I think they're about £11 for a pad of 10 sheets, and each sheet you can work on the other side. So your paint acts really different on this. There's no need to prime with watercolour ground or anything because it does work, and it's another way of achieving some unusual effects with your paint. I'm kind of well known for preparing surfaces so my paints do wonderful things, but they do it on here as well. So I've ripped a piece out and I've ripped that in half as well. Well, I've cut it in half because I just wanted to show you how the paints react on it, and they do take a while to dry on it. And the nice thing about it is with watercolours, they carry on working while you're waiting for it to dry. So when you stop painting you think, oh yes, that's as it is, but then when you look about an hour later it's done even more lovely things. So I'm using just pure watercolour, I'm not using any inks, and I've got in mind just a few, just to show you, a few sweet pea flowers. So very basic shapes, very contemporary, and I'm away at the moment, so I've not got all my normal kit with me. I've got this little Daniel Smith set, and I like the quinacridone rose in there. And then I also like intense violet, that's an SAA colour, leaf green, which is a Shinhan colour, and olive green, which is a SAA colour. So that's probably all I'll be using, but it's just to show you, it's not about the painting really, it's just to show you about the paper, because I'd had it for quite a while, and I even wrote a book about paint. It's called Painting Abstract Nature on Canvas, but I didn't use the paper. I don't know why, to be honest. I just used canvases and boards and everything, but you never know, that might be for another book in the future. So let's just start. I'm not going to wet the paper like I usually do when I work wet in wet. I'm going into this quinacridone rose, a Daniel Smith, as I say, and I'm just doing some shapes similar to sweet pea flowers. And you can see the canvas through the actual paint, can't you? You can see the texture of the canvas. It's just like a real canvas. I'm ever so glad I decided to play around with it. So so these are just flower shapes. I will work back into them because I plan on turning this into a line and wash, I think, which I will have to wait for that to dry, but you could probably watch that tomorrow. So I'm adding water, and as I say, just making the very basic sweet pea shapes, and I like to let them all mingle together. Look at that there, that's really nice, isn't it? That's really gone nice. So, you know, if you just have a little experiment, it's just another thing to add to your bow. String to add to your bow, I should say, not thing. Just makes life a little bit more interesting. Anyway, into the leaf green, one of my favourite colours, as you know if you follow me regularly. And just hit and miss with a bit of a stem. suggestion of a leaf. The leaves aren't very interesting, to be honest, they're just a normal leafy shape. I'm just touching there so to join the flower heads to something so that they're just not moving around in space. So I'm keeping it really simple. Let's have a bit of a leaf shape there. One coming from there. Better join that one up to something, hadn't I? Just do a few more leaves. Can you see already what's happening? Look, it looks like I've added salt and I've not done anything. It's just the paper doing its nice thing. You know, I know you wouldn't want to use this all the time with watercolours, but it's lovely for a change. It really is. Let's add a little bit of the olive green now. Something a bit darker in there. That's not joined up to anything. It doesn't really matter that much, but I do like to anchor them down really. And looking at the paper, you'll see, look, if I do that, you can lift out easily. Something like that. That's drying anyway. And then just there, that's a bit of a jumbled mess there, so let's just lift that bit out. So it's quite easy to lift out on this paper, your watercolours are. I think I'll alter the shape of that one a bit. Just get that off. That's better. And then I'm just going to do one or two little funny marks just to add interest, something like that. And they have little curly things, tendrils that wrap themselves around trellising and everything that you put on to help them grow. So I'll just do one or two of those, something like that. Oops, sorry. Right, that's working lovely. And if you can just zoom in, Alan, on this area here, look, and that'll carry on working now, that will. It really is a lovely change, and you can really see the texture, can't you? Can you see it?
Yeah, it looks great.
Let's smudge one or two bits. So you've still got time to play around, you know. If I wanted to smudge one or two flower heads, look, just add a drop of water and just let them bleed a little bit, just so it's nice and loose. And another thing I'll do is probably have a little bit of a spatter, if I can find my palette knife. Here it is. Spatter with the quinacridone rose. Just on the back of a palette knife. Just to loosen the whole thing up. And I'm going to call that a day, and I'm going to let it dry and then it does take quite a while to dry, at least an hour. It's quite thick. When I say thick, it's quite dense, this paper, and the water doesn't seem to dry from underneath, so it does take quite a while to dry. So I'll leave that for a few hours and let it work its magic, and hopefully work back into it on the next creative clip, where I want to use a bit of pen. This is in my mind at the moment. I might change it, but I plan on using just a little bit of pen here and there and mounting it in another way that I've not shown you yet, which is really interesting. So don't forget to watch tomorrow. So why don't you follow me, and then you won't miss it because you'll get notified. And if you're wanting more in-depth videos, go over to my Vimeo channel, which is on the link below, and you can see some other free creative clips, and you can also purchase in-depth workshop videos, or go to my website www.janebetteridge.com and you can look at my work. Follow me on Facebook. I think I've covered everything, and I hope you've enjoyed it.